don't know if you noticed, but I put white cheddar popcorn in my wrap.
Yeah, I noticed it. I wasn't going to say anything about it because why would you do that?
Because I wanted white cheddar in there.
That seems like a ridiculous thing to do because of a ridiculous thing you wanted.
Well, I'm sure everyone should know by now that I'm a ridiculous person.
Yeah, they all know that. But they didn't know you were this ridiculous. Why would you add popcorn to a wrap? Like a tortilla wrap?
Yeah.
I never thought about... My grandfather used to put potato chips on his sandwich, and I'm I never thought about that.
Dude, salt and vinegar chips on your sandwich? OMG.
But I don't like it.
And dill pickle. The dill pickle chips.
You could just put a fucking pickle on there. How about a pickle? Have you ever thought about putting a pickle
I do.
on a sandwich? You do think about it?
I do it. I do
it. I do it. But, so...
Yeah, and I've got like a berry peach tea or some shit over there.
You put some popcorn in there.
I gotta combine everything.
Do you want some white cheddar flavor in the... What is it? Kombucha? What are you drinking there?
I added raspberry tea to it as well, so it's like 4 or 5 different things all at once.
Yeah.
That's how I roll, bitches.
You can't even focus on one thing long enough to eat it
I can't eat. My ADD's so bad. I gotta combine foods that don't match.
It's like, I thought I wanted this, but now I want this. Put them together, because that's what being me is like.
I keep balance by spicing life up with chaos.
I love that you think you're spicing your life up by putting white cheddar popcorn in a turkey wrap.
I had some quinoa earlier today.
It's quinoa. It's not quinoa.
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 It's quinoa. Quinoa.
You could say it faster, sure.
Quinoa.
Quinoa. Quinoa.
You're like the lady on the Seinfeld.
Quinoa.
Papier-mâché. Do you know what papier-mâché is?
Paper mache?
Paper mache. You don't have to say papier-mâché. You can just say paper mache.
Sounds like the French way.
It's quinoa. It's like calling somebody Samuel.
Yeah. But it works for Samuel L. Jackson because it sounds like 2 L's.
But if it's 2 L's together, it makes a Y sound, like in Spanish. Samuel Jackson.
Say
Samuel Jackson.
Samuel L. Jackson. Samuel L. Jackson.
It's like the word edited it. I edited it.
Yeah.
I edited it.
That's way too many consonants and syllables.
Yeah.
Okay, now I didn't finish my quinoa story. I guess I won't now. I was going to talk about quinoa with sweet potatoes, and I added curry, cinnamon, ginger, and a little bit of honey, and it was the shizzle damn zip zap snap.
But hold on a second. You're supposed to be eating quinoa.
Quinoa?
It sounds like something from a kung fu. The quinoa! The quinoa you, quinoa me! So, you're supposed to eat quinoa because it's good for you.
Yeah.
You're not adding honey and cinnamon and all that.
Curry, ginger, cinnamon.
Yeah, that is a weird...
It's amazing.
No, I won't. I don't.
It's amazing.
You can continue to do that if you want to.
It works because of sweet potato. Sweet potato is great with cinnamon. So just a little bit of ginger for some heat or,
Ginger doesn't have heat.
A little bit. Have you had ginger? Ginger with...
I put ginger on all my sushi.
Yeah. There's a bite to it.
And
if you eat it raw, you probably won't enjoy it that much.
Have you ever put any wasabi on your quinoa?
Wasabi on your quinoa? Yeah. We're putting the wrong constant...
emphasis on the wrong syllable.
The wrong syllable. Consonants is what I was going to say.
Okay, welcome to Movieisms.
That wasn't your typical, you just got shocked intro. That was your...
Welcome to movies. Yeah.
You go from, like, dead silence to you look like you just got stabbed. Like, hey, everybody! Welcome to movies.
That's because I sat down to do this show. First sat down to do this show an hour and 15 minutes ago.
Yeah. Then we got boxes, and then I ate a snack with popcorn.
Yeah. Which I thought you would... That's sort of the thing that I thought you would do while you were waiting on me to get here. Instead of waiting until I got here to decide to eat.
Sure.
I mean, that's why I called. I'm on my way. If you got anything you need to do, can we start by blah, blah time? Yeah, I think I could probably do that by 5:40, you said. Okay. Mm-hmm. In my mind, I'm thinking, he's going to eat. He's going to shit, shower, and shave.
I was going to eat, but we went and got boxes, so that took up my eating time.
But we went and got boxes after I got here, which means you still could have eaten before I got here.
I was going to eat anyway, whatever.
Yeah. See, it doesn't make sense to you even. So when you're saying it out loud, you're like, wait a minute, he's right. This doesn't make any sense.
Okay.
I won again.
I just get to a point where I don't care.
I won.
Just by default, you win. Just like, I don't care. Whatever. Who cares? I'm done talking.
Right. Well, I mean, it's just my time. You're not worried about it because you've got an endless supply of time.
Really?
Yeah. Like, what are you going to do later tonight? Play video games?
I plan on working and packing, sir.
Yeah. Yeah. Really?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
That'll be the first time you did something.
Okay. We're getting back to below the belt. You remember the other day you said you fat shamed me, and then you caught yourself and said, "Oh, I'm sorry, that was below the..." Yeah. You know, there's kidding, and and then there's just being an asshole.
I don't think I fat shamed you. I teased you about a time where you fat shamed yourself, and I just repeated it.
I'm allowed.
It's like the
N-word.
It's like the N-word. The only person that can fat shame me is me.
If I'm partially the R word, can I use the R word? I don't think you can use the R word.
No, stop trying.
Even if you are the R word, you can't.
Yeah,
say
no,
it.
because if you are, you wouldn't want to use that word. You would know that.
You think eventually we won't be able to use the word dumb or stupid because it means like not being able to speak.
You mean like Donald Trump is going to begin being offended when people say the dumb word? I take it personal when you say dumb because I know you're talking about me.
I think stupid used to mean deaf. I think I saw that in a movie.
You know, isn't it hilarious that somebody... This is the offensive political portion of the show. That somebody who claims how smart he is has tried to block his high school from releasing his SAT scores.
Oh, yeah. I don't even know.
Nobody who's smart wants to block their SAT scores.
Well, I don't even know what they are, and I don't care. So.
Why, SAT scores are it's a test you take in high school.
I'm sort of afraid to take that SMART test. Have you ever taken it?
I don't need to take it.
You know, where the IQ score?
Yeah, well, the thing is...
by the way, it's not accurate. It's a lot of stupid questions that are, conditional based on your life experience.
Yeah. I scored real high on a IQ test at one point in time, but it was like a right brain IQ test.
Yeah.
I'm highly emotionally intelligent and creatively intelligent. If you ask me, like, to solve riddles and puzzles and things like that are like math and science based, I'd do poorly on those.
Oh, I'm the worst at riddles. because I'm very practical.
I thought you were about to say because I myself am an enigma.
No, I'm very literal. My melancholy personality, I'm very literal. So you give me these little riddles, and I'm like, what are you talking like a real heart? This, I'm visualing all this other stuff, and I'm supposed to. I can't go to that place.
I love how you polish it up by I'm very literal, as opposed to I'm a pain in the ass.
I'm abstract. Abstract random.
But how is that literal? How is being abstract literal? That's two different things altogether.
Well, that's my mind, but I can mean anyway.
See, you are a riddle.
I'm an enigma.
I've never solved the riddle of Brad, But I give up on riddles.
Yeah. Anyway, but I do take everything literally. But I can't. The riddles. Anyway, I'm terrible at it. I feel really bad. You want me to feel stupid? Give me some riddle to solve. And everyone else is like, oh, I know what that means. You know, every time Batman comes up against the Riddler, I pause and I try to work it out myself. And I never get it. I'm nowhere close. Even the dumb 50s or 60s show where the riddles were real easy. I couldn't figure that shit out. I'm like an idiot when it comes to riddles.
In the 25 years I've known you, we've never had the I hate riddles conversation. Oh. Every now and then when I feel like maybe we've had every conversation we've ever had and we're just going to start repeating them, every now and then you drop a riddles make me feel stupid. So now I know what I'm going to give you for your birthday is a book of riddles to troll you so that you continue feeling stupid.
I drove a friend of mine nuts playing D&D one time. Because he spent all this time doing this riddle to the entrance of the thing. And I just couldn't fucking do it. I just started attacking it and shouting and doing all this other shit. Finally, he had to have one of a non-player character come in and solve it for me. Because I couldn't fucking do it. He tried to give me hints. It didn't help. Just no clue.
And hold on. And you never played with him again.
Actually, that was one of the last times. There was one more time after that, and he just got too frustrated.
You know how, like, when you get stuck into a conversation and there's no way out, so the person keeps saying things that is like, holy shit. And the eyes get wider, and you're like, oh, this person's actually... I'm stuck in the conversation. You're looking around. Yeah.
I would ask 100 questions before I would make a decision and we get to the next thing.
You do that anyway. Have you ever heard yourself order at a restaurant?
Just do it. Just go.
Have you ever heard yourself order at a restaurant?
Can I do this? Can I mix this with this? Or what if I did that?
Brad, just go into a fast food restaurant. Like, you walk in, you get a quick cheeseburger.
Too many choices.
I've gotten my food, sat down and started eating... And you're still...
Yeah, because they always have some new thing on there that I'm like, oh, that sounds good. But it's like $6. I don't know if I want to spend that much money. You know, it's just too many...
Too many variants. Yeah, but I've already enjoyed my fast food. And you're now sitting down. And I'm like, ugh. So now I have to sit there and watch you chew your food for... However long it takes you.
So, like, 3 times longer than other humans.
Right. Right. And I gotta tell you, it's not fun for anybody except for you, maybe.
Yeah.
Because you're the one enjoying food at the time. I grew in a house full of 5 people, and...
Oh, you had to eat fast.
So I had to... It was like, or it was going to be gone, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I've been alone my entire life.
Yeah.
All right, so like movies.
That shows up in your negative personality traits, by the way.
Oh yeah.
That you've been alone in your life.
Because I'm like, I don't. Yeah.
You don't budge for anyone. Riddle me this: how annoying do you think that is? He can't figure it out. He doesn't know how annoying it is.
No idea.
It's like self-awareness. In lack of self-awareness, intelligence. I turn it into a riddle, and you're like, "What? I think it's annoying. Wait a minute, I don't know."
It could be infinite.
It is infinitely annoying. I can attest. The last year and a half of my life has been an intense research.
But I keep you busy because you avoid being home all the time, so you're always getting shit done.
Well, yeah. Well, I was always like that. Yeah.
So I don't better you.
Now I just have like a real reason to not be home instead of a fake one.
Okay.
Well.
Movies and shit. I think we were talking longer because we're not looking forward to. You're not looking forward to talking about.
Yeah.
Captain Marvel.
Because I don't like saying bad things about movies.
Well, I think you're... You're being too hard on the movie, I think.
Look, I judge this movie by the same standards that I judge any other movie I go and see. I'm not being all hard on it.
I think you're judging it based on Marvel movies.
Well, yeah, I do expect more out of Marvel.
Yeah.
I expect them to be good. Okay, so should we tell them what movie we're talking about?
Yeah, I thought I threw it in there, but
Captain Marvel. So Captain Marvel came out is the long anticipated and highly hyped Captain Marvel, who is now we're to the most powerful person in the universe. It started out as Thor was the most powerful, then it's Thanos, and now it's her, the most powerful person in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, is what they keep saying. She's the most powerful person in the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
I think Odin was more powerful than Thor, but whatever.
Really? I mean, did you ever see Odin or Thor, fly through airplanes?
I'm not going to get semantical.
But, did you save that for the butter conversation? You're going to get semantical on the butter conversation.
No, I just
but not about the movie we're supposed to be reviewing. I don't want to reveal
how nerdy I am by telling you, excuse me, sir, you're forgetting about Galactus.
I don't even know who that
and
is.
The Silver Surfer all together.
Is that Marvel?
Yes. Galactus is Marvel.
A Silver Surfer? Silver
Surfer? Yeah.
So this is the... I guess we can say we've been waiting for the Carol Danvers origin story.
I guess. We thought it was going to be more connected to the Endgame movie. Yeah. But as far as I could tell, it got nothing to do with it. Except
nothing to do with it.
She shows up and says, "Where's Nick Fury?" And then you realize,
Did you just say McFury?
Mick Fury?
Did you say McFury?
I don't think so, but that'd
it's
be
not
funny.
It's not a McDonald's Happy Meal.
Mayor McCheese, McFury.
When Marvel really jumps the shark, they're going to have Sam Jackson in there selling Happy Meals to kids, and he's like, "Just call me McFury."
Hey, there's a McFlurry. A Fury Flurry? A Fury McFlurry? A McFury McFlurry.
A McFury is what Nick Fury would get inside a McFlurry. So what would he get as a... This is way more interesting than talking about the movie. What would Nick Fury's McFlurry be? I think I have some chocolate in there, right? Sam Jackson.
Yes.
Sam Jackson. What's the...
Who knows? I have no idea.
Sam Jackson wants purple sprinkles.
You gave me another riddle.
Yeah, Sam Jackson wants purple sprinkles.
Purple sprinkles.
Sam Jackson's purple. He's a purple guy. That's why he's the only guy in Star Wars who has a lightsaber that isn't red or green. He's got he's the only one with the purple lightsaber.
Penis. Okay.
But why?
Why do you have phallic symbols.
But why do you have to bring it down into that?
I don't know. Purple penises are funny.
No, they're not.
Okay.
Are you fucking 12? If you're 12, maybe.
I think we've established already that I haven't... Look, my height alone.
Your whole body is below the belt.
Yes.
That's what we were saying.
Right. That was the punchline to the joke I was trying to get to.
Yeah.
Was that my entire body is below the belt. I win that one.
I win that one. Yeah. So, this has not Allison Brie.
We wish.
What's her name?
Brie Larson.
Brie Larson. And
how does she ever become an actress? Like, her face doesn't move.
Sam Jackson and a whole host of characters that we have never met before, and we're dropped into a storyline that is already taking place in the very beginning. You're dropped into a storyline that's already taken place, so they don't do anything to build interest in the characters or make you care about them in any way. They just start. You're in the middle of the story, and you don't even really find out anything about anything until like an hour into the movie.
Yeah, it's a buddy movie.
Yeah,
like her and Nick Fury,
which isn't a good thing, by the way.
Some buddy movies are good. I don't know what that's supposed to mean.
Yeah, well, I mean that for this movie, a buddy movie wasn't good.
Yeah, no.
Because first they turn Nick Fury into sort of like the funny partner.
Yeah.
But Nick Fury's not. I don't believe that guy becomes the Nick Fury from Winter Soldier.
Yeah. I mean, it was interesting, but it was breaking. It's nothing like Nick Fury at all.
Yeah. It's just, we need Nick. We've figured out that Marvel movies do well when they're funny, so we're going to make Nick Fury funny in this.
I didn't think about it until you just said that right now.
Yeah.
Because I think that's why the Skrull had the best personality out of everyone in the movie, the main Skrull.
Yeah.
He was hilarious. I loved every scene he was in.
Part of it was his accent, was his funny accent.
But also the way he reacted to everything.
The way he talked, the things he said, and how he said them were good.
Yeah.
This movie just has like a lot of those convenient action movie things. Like, she's from wherever she's from, and she somehow, through a series of unfortunate events, ends up on Earth. We knew this was happening because we saw the trailer. She needs to call home, right? ET phone home. So she goes to a Radio Shack, gets some wires, and jacks into a telephone and can now call a planet in another part of the galaxy.
Yeah, that's totally unbelievable.
Completely unbelievable. I mean,
if you know anything about the technology, that there's not enough power, or that it can't happen.
Yeah. So it's full of things like that. And there's another.
And supposedly, she hacked his beeper so that it could find her anywhere in the galaxy and let her know. It took her less than a minute, I think. I don't know. She MacGyvered. She could just grab a couple of wires and some gum or whatever, and would just MacGyver things, and they could immediately, communicate across vast light. By the way, light speed, like immediate back and forth.
Yeah.
Which is not possible.
So things like automatically knowing how to drive a motorcycle, even though she's never seen one or been on one. Automatically knowing things like how
to use her powers.
Well, it's not even that but she didn't have a section where she figured out that she was powerful.
Yeah. She just got the boost and then immediately knew how to do everything.
Right, yeah. And the things they say to each other in this movie are the dialogue. Okay, so the story...
Was that what is the worst?
The story was fine. The things that happened, this happens and then this happens and this happens, is okay. It's the way they executed it that bothered me. The dialogue in this movie was pretty bad most of the time.
Yeah, and I think it's because, like you pointed out, I think they were trying to be too funny. Trying to be Thor Ragnarok when they really just needed to have the characters be the characters and just do the story.
Yeah, and like she meets with Nick Fury, who says in the very beginning, this is like in the beginning, in the first 20 minutes of the movie, she meets with him because we know this is going to happen because we've seen the trailer, but. He asks her, prove to me you're not a Skrull. He doesn't even know what they are, by the way. He doesn't know what a Skrull or a Kree is.
Well, he caught one in his car.
Yeah, but he knows that they're shapeshifters.
Right.
But that's all he knows. So her proving that she's not a Skrull is she blows up a jukebox. Yeah. And he just says, oh, okay. But he doesn't know Skrulls or Krees can do that. He doesn't know any of that. He just goes, okay. And she asks him, well, prove to me you're not one. And he says, well, if you make toast and cut it diagonally, I can't eat that.
I think it was more of a joke than anything.
But, yeah, but she takes that joke and go, okay, you're not one.
She said something like they can't. I don't remember exactly how she said it. But I'm paraphrasing. The way I heard it was that Skrulls can't say things in a weird way, or they can't say things weird. So then he said, diagonal, I can't eat diagonal, I can't say that damn word. Diagonal.
Wait a minute, are you one of them? Are you a Skrull?
See, I guess that's what she was saying, that Skrulls can't do.
Diagonally is not a weird thing to say.
I know. But regardless, it didn't work.
Also, she just knows how to use our earthly technology that is hundreds of years less advanced than hers. Like if we sat like a generation ago, there were rotary phones, right? Okay, so if we sat a teenager down on a rotary phone, they don't know how to use that thing. So she's dropped down into our planet way less technologically advanced, and she just knows how to use things. She knows how to do things. She knows how to fly our planes.
Well, I think she was a pilot.
Yeah, but she doesn't remember that. She doesn't know that she was a pilot.
Yeah, well, you can let that one fly, because people who have...
Fly? Is that what you're trying to do? Let's see what
People who have amnesia could still remember how to cook and do all this shit, but they just don't remember, everything leading up to it, but they still have the muscle memory and all. They know what the buttons do.
Yeah, but flying a plane, come on. That's highly complicated.
You can have amnesia, still know how to drive a car, operate the radio.
Yeah, but when you have amnesia, you didn't forget how to drive a car. You forget details of your life.
Yeah.
She forgot she knew how to fly. Like, she forgot that detail.
Yeah.
How do you know how to fly a plane if you didn't know how to fly a plane?
Muscle memory.
Muscle memory is talking about
martial arts.
Yeah, but that your muscles remember that, but it's not that you've forgotten how to do it and your muscles remember for you. It's like that's muscle memory is a reflex. It's referring to reflexes.
The thing she had was she had trouble with long-term memory, but short-term memory worked fine.
Yeah. Well, what I really think it was that she had been sort of brainwashed.
Yeah.
I think they just had removed her memories from her. Seemed like to me. Because she wasn't brain injured.
Oh wait, yeah, but when she was in the accident that gave her powers,
yeah.
What they were saying in the movie is that's when she lost her memory.
Oh, okay.
And so I think they were trying to find the light engine that the Marvel developed.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, that's
from the comics, I heard.
I know, but Marvel. I'm just done with the Marvel. There's Miss Marvel, Captain Marvel, Marvel.
Well, this is stuff that's been around for decades. You can't start having a problem with it now.
It's annoying. Anyway, like the movie. I was a little bit offended when the movie was over, and you're like, that was bad. And I'm like, it wasn't that bad. It was okay, 3 stars, but you're just...
It was, I didn't like the makeup jobs on the were they Skrulls? Krees, on the Kree. Skrulls.
No, Kree's blue, Skrulls
the makeup
green.
jobs, and okay, so remember the 90s? Back then in the 90s, right?
Mm-hmm.
When Buffy the Vampire Slayer was on television.
Yeah.
That was great makeup, special effects makeup for television.
So you said the Skrulls look like the vampires from there with the eyes and the...
Yeah, they looked like the demons. I remember I remember on Buffy the Vampire Slayer, there's that demon that was like the bartender. He owned the bar where all the demons hung out, and Buffy would go there sometimes. But he had he was a demon, mm-hmm. and maybe it's and I always thought it was funny, but it was television makeup. It was really good for television makeup, especially in the 90s. But we're living in 2019 where special effects makeup has advanced so much that you literally can't tell if it's a real person or not.
I didn't notice this thing you're talking about.
It just seemed so rigid that their mouths didn't really move like real mouths, and I could see wrinkles in the special effects makeup sometimes that shouldn't have been there because you could tell it was a wrinkle in the latex or the plastic.
Really?
Yeah, every now and then I would see one because I'm sitting there just something was wrong or off about it, so I kept watching.
Their skin was wrinkled to begin with.
But you know what I'm saying. Like
I guess
when material, it's like when material folds, and it looks fine when they're. It looks. I see that. That's part of the design. That in still pictures it looks fine, but sometimes when they turn their neck or nod their head or talk, and their mouths don't have. Like when we talk, our mouths move a certain way. But when they talk, it didn't look like a real mouth moving. You know what I mean? Because it's covered up.
It was very. There was so much makeup around the mouth it didn't move very much.
For me, and that bothered me from the start. However, the design looks great. I love the way it looks. Just it didn't seem like it was moving well. Now, like if you were to see like The Darkest Hour, which is Gary Oldman playing the Prime Minister. What's that guy's name? Churchill. Yeah, Winston Churchill. Right. You watch him for 2 hours, and the jowls moved like real skin. They were when he talked, you could see the skin moving like real skin. Yeah. And this was disappointing because it felt like it was just doing something that was done 20 years ago and not using what's used nowadays. You know what I mean? Sure. It's a little thing. It's a tiny little thing. It's a science fiction movie. You expect that. You know what I mean? But whatever. Anyway, the makeup stuff bothered me, and this movie. Okay, so Infinity War came out. Infinity War was very, very good for a Marvel movie. Spider-Man, Homecoming was very, very good. Yeah. Okay.
For the first time, we got to see the real Spider-Man and Peter Parker.
Right. And the previous Marvel movie was Thor Ragnarok, which was okay.
Yeah.
But not great.
Yeah, we were starting to get the fatigue.
Well, I'd already had the fatigue, but yeah. But then, since Infinity War came out, we've had Ant-Man 2, which was mediocre at best. This movie, which is, in my opinion, mediocre at best. And it's like, now I'm back to why am I going to see these movies? Because they don't satisfy me in any way. I wasn't really entertained in a consistent, like, so if I didn't go see this, I would have missed a couple of funny cat jokes.
I feel like it was even though I thought the movie was a 3 out of 5 stars. Yeah, I thought which means it's okay. Yeah. But like you were saying, if you compare it to other Marvel movies, it's a bad Marvel movie.
Right, it's bad compared to Marvel movies, yeah.
Yeah, and honestly, when I reflect back on it, it's really completely unnecessary because they could have just... No, they didn't really explain her powers or anything. I knew some stuff because I looked it up before, because Captain Marvel is one of the few characters that I really don't know that much about. Like, there was a scene where she was doing something to the ship. But only because I researched it did I know, she's absorbing the energy from the ship. That's the only way I knew that was her power. No one bothered to explain it. So my point is, they could have just popped her into the Endgame movie and had a brief little, here's who she is and what she's about. Yeah. And then,
kind of like the way they did Spider-Man in Civil War.
Right.
Yeah. So another thing that happened in this movie that bothered me was... They have a plane, and they need to fly to outer space for something. So one guy says, well, I'm the science guy on the Skrull. I'm science guy, so I can make some modifications to this plane so it can fly in space. What? And it was like the next morning they left.
So your problem is all the MacGyver scenes in the movie where people just MacGyver things to do whatever?
I loved MacGyver, but MacGyver made sense when he did stuff like that. He explained it and it made sense. This was like, I'm going to wave my magic wand because we need to have this section be convenient. Yeah. So we're going to say, I can razzle dazzle this and we're going to be able to go to space in this plane.
They made it seem like it was like either that day that he was done or the next day.
It was like an instantaneous fix.
Yeah. And then which means, and by the way, they even pressed a button that initiated like a fake gravity in the ship, which the technology for that is not even, couldn't put that together on Earth, I don't think.
Right.
And where did that come from?
Yeah, but he just did that while we weren't watching. This happened, and then the next thing we know...
He secured all the oxygen necessary for the trip. Yeah. He was able to get everything necessary to create fake gravity, was able to seal everything on the ship, make it airtight so that
Yeah.
It wouldn't break. And also got all the fuel and the jet engines necessarily. He
turned a jet into a rocket.
Right.
Overnight.
So it was able to propel itself up.
Yeah.
And not break or blow up. And,
yeah.
How did he do that in a day or a week? It would take months.
He hired...
And it's just one person.
Yeah. Yeah. He just hired some writers who left it out on purpose because it was impossible to prove it could be done. So they just... But other things like just the chemistry between Samuel Jackson and her was awful. Yeah. It's not chemistry. It's non-existent. There's nothing between them.
Do you know who directed the movie? It was a woman, I believe.
No,
right?
It wasn't a woman. It was a guy. I can't remember their names.
Oh.
Let me look real quick.
Oh. I do want to say that. Okay, your daughter was there.
Yeah.
Your daughter clapped and showed that.
Yeah.
Your daughter liked it, and people in the audience clapped when it was over and liked it. And I discussed it with another person, and he made me realize. He said that, well, the movie was made for your daughter and people and women and people like your daughter. And so it sort of made sense because it's a buddy movie where there's no love story, where like the woman needs the man to complete her or whatever, no romance. It's just a woman being a woman and didn't need a man to do stuff. So it's, it's good in a way that it wasn't cliche. But it still had a lot of faults. And Alison Brie is just can't emote. You and I joke about making faces.
It is it's the school of make a face acting. Like she literally, she's angry now, so she frowns. Yeah. And when she's running, she's, but even when
90% of the movie, it was just nothing.
Just like vacant. And these are scenes where she's running and jumping and all that stuff. She's literally like jogging. It doesn't even look like she's trying to run fast. Like when Tom Cruise runs, he's fucking running. She's like a light jog, it looks like. And there's like no superhero in the middle of a world-ending crisis is going to like lightly trot over to the thing. They're going to, and she's always standing in the permanent like bald fist Superman pose. Like she looks like she's posing in every shot of the movie instead of just being being there, like just
or acting.
But she's got her fist balled and her chest stuck out. She's like this is I'm doing this now because I think this is what a superhero is gonna stand like, and it's obnoxious. It's in every shot, dude. It's in every shot, especially when she... Not in every shot. That's an exaggeration. But especially when she's wearing the suit. Something about the suit makes her stand that way.
I guess that was... I guess that was an acting choice. Where she thought, okay, well, I'm a superhero now, so I've got to look like this. And
you don't see Spider-Man doing that. Standing in his, like, Superman, Spider-Man pose.
He's not worried about it. Yeah.
He's not worried about it. But the movie, the girl power stuff did not feel organic to me at all. It felt like this is the scene where we're going to hit the girl power thing because Captain Marvel's a girl, in case you haven't noticed. So we're going to... Like, Wonder Woman didn't have any of that stuff. It just had badass woman doing badass things. Mm-hmm. There's the scene, the big moment where she sits down and talks, you're like the bravest woman I've ever known, and you're all-powerful even without the powers. And it's just so obviously heavy-handed. They're like, oh, since Captain Marvel's a girl, we got to make this a girl power thing, so we're going to throw that stuff in there. I'm not saying that that's bad to go for that, but the way they went about it was just like, this is the girl power scene, so we're going to throw all of it in there in this one moment.
It lacked heart. It lacked motivation. There weren't scenes that made you like people.
Yeah.
It was just, here's some stuff that's happening, and just,
There were parts that were entertaining, though. I remember I laughed a few times.
The cat and the scroll.
The cat was
Those
funny.
Guys are fun.
All we'll say about the cat is there's one scene in the one of the trailers where Nick McFury, from now on he's Nick McFury, where Nick McFury leans down, it's like, who's the little cat? And it's in the trailer, and you're like, That's when I started wondering about this movie. I was like, what is going on? But the cat plays a prominent part in the rest of the movie. The cat stuff is funny. You
also hated the trailers at the end. They weren't worth it at all and were just useless.
The post-credit scenes...
the worst. I think in Marvel movie history, they're the worst post-credit
They phoned this shit in. They just phoned it in. This particular movie felt like, oh, well, we know that since everybody loved Infinity War, we're Marvel, we know this, people are gonna go see this whether it's good or not. I know they weren't sitting there going, we can make a shitty movie because no one's gonna, but it just felt like felt uninspired. The whole thing felt uninspired to me. Infinity War was inspired. Spider-Man Homecoming, it was inspired. It had a tone of voice. It had a personality. That movie had a personality. This movie was trying to be... It's like the angsty teenager that's trying to be something that it's not. That's what this is.
Here's the other thing is, I still don't know who Captain Marvel is. I don't know really anything about her other than she shoots light beams and can fly. But I don't know anything about her personality. I don't know how she would react to things or... I don't know anything about her still. I saw a whole movie. Yeah. I don't know anything about Captain Marvel.
Because you just have a feeling, at least I got the feeling from that movie that they will make her be whatever she needs to be in the moment.
Yeah, by the way, I gotta mention...
Black Panther was the other one that was just great. That movie was just great. So, in my mind, we're expecting... They've been on a roll, you know what I mean? So we're expecting a good movie, and then we go and see this, and it seems worse than maybe it really is, because it's so disappointing.
I also didn't get any kind of a hint of her being anywhere close to who I think is the most powerful Marvel character. There's no hint of her being... She could shoot some light beams and fly,
Yeah.
I don't know how powerful she is. She looked a little badass flying through ships and blowing them up.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
But, but I have to tell you, whoever's listening, if you haven't seen it yet, I'm pretty sure you're gonna hate how the story behind how Nick Fury gets his eye screwed up. It's not how it was in the comics or in cartoons or he didn't. Yeah, it wasn't heroic or anything. It was really just lame.
And they hinted that multiple times. That they try to tease that in the movie because they know everybody's wondering how he's getting his his eye patch, but it's just
so that part really pissed me off. I'm not going to say what it is.
That's the part that pissed you off.
But when it happened, I'm like, what a letdown.
I'm pissed from the first 10 minutes when she starts wiretapping a payphone without money, by the way. Her cables that she got from Radio Shack helped her not have to use coins on the payphone. But here's the thing.
She just grabbed a couple RCA cables and some duct tape.
Yeah, those little clipper things that they always use to detonate bombs and stuff. The little
batteries.
But hold on. So she's talking to this person in a completely different galaxy, right?
Yeah.
In a different, or at least a different dimension or something.
Where's the satellite that's sending the signal? She's talking to a payphone. How is it?
And then the phone call gets disconnected by the operator that comes in and says, "If you'd like to make another long distance call." I thought she was
circumventing that.
Right. So, like, the phone works how she wants it to until the operator comes in and disconnects the call.
Until it can make a joke.
That's when I started going, I think there's something wrong here. I already felt a little weird because the first 20 minutes of the movie was just like a battle scene when we're thrown into, and we don't know who any of these people are. They didn't say anything. We know.
Yeah, they didn't explain who the Skrulls were. They
didn't do any of that.
Who the Kree were.
Yeah.
I still know more about all of that than most people who watched it probably. I thought this was the movie where they introduced Skrulls to the universe, and here's who they are. We still barely... I mean, if you're watching, they had a little bit of the Kree in the Marvel TV show Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., so you know a little bit of if you watch that, but I thought this movie was gonna explain things, and
No.
it was just.
It felt.
I really believe you could take this movie out of the cinematic universe and nothing would change.
No bearing. It is filler.
Yeah.
It's filler, dude, and you don't want to be filler. You want to have a purpose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're right, sir.
Well, that's it. This is 48 minutes of us proving to you that we are movie snobs. Even Brad snobbed out on this one.
Well,
I didn't even have to convince him. He was like, "This was boring."
You were very. Yeah.
I said everything I...
You were adversarial... Yeah. Well, in the movie theater, you were adversarial about, like, it was bad. And I was like, come on, it was okay. He's like, no, it was bad. And
I was saying it's bad for Marvel, and you kept saying, you mean bad? I mean bad for Marvel. Like, for a Marvel film, this was bad. Yeah.
Well, it's just like with the word hate, where we think it's too strong. I thought bad was too strong to use with...
But it was bad.
Okay, you're doing it...
And your butter was the wrong butter.
I reserved bad for, like, really terrible.
Like movies. What? Valerian?
What was the... Oh, God.
Valerian wasn't bad. Valerian was terrible.
Terrible bad, yes.
God awful.
Yeah, that was beyond bad.
Right. Beyond bad. Yeah. So, like what? What's bad?
What was the last bad one we saw? I don't remember. Jurassic World?
That was terrible. In my opinion, that was a terrible movie.
I guess I think bad means terrible. It's either terrible or okay. Yeah. I think that a movie that's okay is sort of bad. So, I don't know.
Yeah, well, you want to like a movie or not like it.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I want to like all the movies, but you know what I mean. You don't want to be indescribable as good or bad. You don't want to be indescribable as not good or not bad. You want to be... If people came out of there and they hated your movie, at least you took a stand on something. You know what I mean? You went there and it didn't happen. Most people say they'd rather you love their movie or hate it. They don't want you to be ambivalent about it.
They missed a huge opportunity to set up the Skrulls as a big bad in the MCU universe.
Yeah.
Which is very disappointing because I've been waiting. I want to see a Fantastic Four movie where you got Super Skrull, and I don't know, based on this movie, I don't know if that'll happen. Anyway, they missed a big opportunity with this movie. Like you said, filler, I think, is a good description.
All right, well, that's it. Coming soon is Us, which I've heard.
Oh, I thought you meant us, but...
We are coming soon also, as in next week. But the movie Us, the Jordan Peele movie, I don't know anything about this movie except for what I've seen in the trailer, which has my interest totally piqued.
You know what's awesome?
I cannot wait.
There's like a clip in the trailer where a little kid is just running really fast, but weird, like holding his hands like...
Yeah, and then creepily running.
And I was like...
It's unsettling. It's unsettling.
You can just do some really creepy shit by just having someone like not move their hands.
And it's the tilted down. The Clockwork Orange may have been the first time that actually got really used, where people tilt their head down and do like the creepy grin, the clownish grin, like the Joker look.
Talk about making faces. They make a lot of good faces in the trailer.
Yeah, but I am as good as Get Out was. And as entertaining. So Get Out was entertaining, and it was also really about something, and it was great because of that. It was it was social commentary, but also highly entertaining. Us, I don't know. The only thing that they say in the trailer is we are our own worst enemies. And we've got evil doppelgangers chasing around like the average family. So that seems like maybe that's the theme of the thing. I can't wait to see it though, because Jordan Peele, I think Jordan Peele is just, it's almost like he's the J.J. Abrams of the 2010s, of the 2015s, because remember there was a back when J.J. Abrams started making movies where pretty much everything J.J. Abrams put his hand on was like, it was reliably good.
Alias and Lost.
He, and then he started making movies, and like, just J.J. Abrams, it was just all like, it was good. It was good stuff.
It's almost where like you can't screw up.
Right, and that's not, and of course that's not true. But it seemed like for a while there he was making solid choices, and he still does make solid choices. I saw a review on Twitter, so it was like a tweet. It wasn't really a review, of somebody that saw Us and said that it is a horror masterpiece, and that they think we're watching the birth of like a guy that's going to be like around forever. Like in 20, like the way we talk about Did You See Rear Window? Yeah, we're going to be talking about what was your favorite Jordan Peele film, sure. And they're going to have like a bunch of options to choose from, because what he's doing is so cool, and it's so funny that he started out the way he started out. He started out, like, not started out, but where he made his name.
Mad TV, and then he did Key and Peele.
Right. Like, and that's all any of us knew about him until Get Out.
Yeah.
And now it's like, oh, this guy's like a master storyteller.
Also, this is like a film or everything I'm about to say, but it just makes me mad. Like, is that his first movie? Did he not do another feature film that we don't know about?
Get Out.
It's just like annoying. Here's my first movie. It's genius and amazing and changes the world.
Get Out was his directorial debut. However, I'm sure, God. I mean, he's been on movies and he's been around movies, so it's not like he didn't know how that stuff worked, but it was his first time directing a story. I'm jealous, but
also it's great, man. Just imagine if we weren't in the day and age that we are, or imagine if he wasn't able to be a director. If racism was worse. I mean, you can't. Racism is still bad. Yeah. But I'm just so happy. Like, it's a great example of here. This is why being racist and saying other people are less than. Look at that. We would have not had Get Out, which, I mean, white, black, whatever your color, nation, whatever. It's a great movie.
Yeah. So I'm looking forward to Us. That's the next movie I really got my eye on. And I think it's a couple weeks. We're a couple weeks away from that. So, all right. Yeah. All right. Well, that's it for this time. If you saw Captain Marvel and think that we are totally wrong, I would like to hear from you. And if you saw Captain Marvel and totally agree with us, we'd like to hear from you as well. It's movieisms@gmail.com. I am Beckemeyer on Twitter and Instagram. And this is Bradley Kingston, a.k.a. the Balding Ewok, on Twitter and Instagram.
Yeah. Wherever it matters.
Yeah. And so that's it for next time. We will see you at the movies.
Yeah. It's not the end.
I just said that's it for next time. I meant to say that's it for this time.
That's it for next time.
We will see you at the movies.
It's never the end. Yeah, to be continued. That's going to be my new thing.
To be continued.
To be continued.
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
Movieisms is a production of Super Mega Ultra Entertainment and is produced by Michael Beckemeyer and Bradley Kingston. If you'd like to find out more, follow us on Twitter or Instagram. And make sure you click like on our Facebook page, which is facebook.com/movieisms. If you're enjoying this podcast, please take a moment and give us a 5-star review in iTunes. It only takes a minute and it helps us out more than you can imagine. Thank you very much, and until next time, we'll see you at the movies.